Welcome to our YouTube channel Mathematical Pathshala. In this lecture we are going to discuss integral equations, complete solution of CSIR NAT December 2015 session. In that session they have asked total 3 questions. Generally they ask 2 questions. So in that session they have asked total 3 questions. One question is of 3 marks which was asked in part B, and 2 questions were asked in part C. Those were of 4.75 marks. So the total weightage is 9.5 plus 3, that is 12.5, and the question paper is comparatively easy. If you see the papers of 2018 and 19, and the 2015 session was easy in this section, integral equation section. Let us start problems. Question number 1: the resolvent kernel of R x t comma lambda for the Volterra integral equation phi x is equal to x plus lambda a2 x phi of s ds. So there are 2 methods for solving this problem. You want to find resolvent kernel. One method is by the iterative kernel method. First you find the iterative kernel, then you find the RTX resolvent kernel directly. Or there is one more method. If you see the method by iterated kernel is a common method. So if you see with the another method, that is here your kernel k of x comma t or k of x comma s is of the form a naught x plus a1 x x minus s plus a2 x x minus s whole square by factorial 2 plus an minus 1 x x minus s power n minus 1 divided by n minus 1 factorial. This is another method when your kernel is of the special form. So this kernel is of this format. So if you see, you will be having your a naught is 1 and a1, your a naught is 1, and this is going till n is equal to 1. This is going till n is equal to 1. You can observe because your kx comma s is 1 in this equation. Then your resolvent kernel rxt lambda is given by 1 upon lambda dn gxt lambda over dx power n or dxn. So this rxt lambda is given by 1 upon lambda and a derivative of this g function with respect to x, where your question is your lambda is known from here, but what is your g? This g is a solution of the differential equation dn g by dx power n minus lambda a naught dn minus 1 g by dx n minus 1 plus up to a n minus 1 g is 0. So this g is a solution of this differential equation. This is a solution of another order differential equation, so it needs some condition to find this g uniquely. So the conditions are g is equal to 0 is equal to dg by dx up to dn minus 2 dg by dx power n, derivative n minus 1 times is 0 at x is equal to t, and dn minus 1 g over del x n minus 1 is 1 at x equal t. So these are n condition for finding the solution in a unique way. So here your n value is 1, so you will have, this is the first order differential equation. So for this problem I can find this dg by dx, your a naught value is 1 and rest are 0. It is running till n is equal to 1. So you will have minus lambda, a naught value is 1, d is equal to 0 with the condition if you put n to be 1, you will be having this condition g is equal to 1 at x is equal to t. So this is your differential equation. If you find the auxiliary equation, your auxiliary equation will be m minus lambda is equal to 0. So your root is m is equal to lambda. So your solution will look like g is equal to c1 e power lambda x. Now we have a condition dg by del x at x is equal to t, it is 1. So at x is equal to t, it is 1. 1 is equal to c1 e power lambda time t at x is equal to t. So your c1 will be c1 e power minus lambda t. So your g will be C1 g will be e power lambda time x minus t. This will be your g, and once you have g, you have your r x t lambda. So if you finding this, note down this, your r x t lambda will be 1 upon lambda time, your n value is 1, so derivative of g with respect to x 1 times you will be getting e power lambda time x minus t, and derivative is with respect to x into lambda, so it will give you e power lambda x minus t. If you are comfortable this method, then this method is more easier, but if you go with the iterative method, it will take time, because if you are aware of this method, you will just write these 3 or 4 line. But in the iterative method, you have to compute k1, k2, k3, and you have to guess what is your kn. So it will take time. But let me give you a brief idea for iterative method also. If you are not aware of this, you can do with that method also. In this method, your rxt lambda is given by summation n is running from 1 to infinity lambda power n minus 1 kn x comma t, where kn represent the nth iteration of your kernel, which is defined as kn x comma t is simply kxt, which is 1 in this case, kn x comma t. In case of Volterra integral equation, it is defined as integral t to x kx comma z kn minus 1 z comma t dz, or you can define in this way, integral t to x kn minus 1 xz kz comma t dz, where n is 2, 3 up to n. So this is iterative method. You have to guess your nth iteration. So if you go with this method, you will get the same answer. So answer will be B, e power lambda time x minus t. This question was of 3 marks. Now question number 2. This question you can say one of the easiest question, but कुछ लोगों ने इसका जो ऑप्शन के नेचर है या ऑप्शन जिस तरीके से लग रहा है, कुछ लोगों ने उसको डायरेक्ट इस तरीके से ही छोड़ दिया था, क्योंकि ऑप्शन दिखने में थोड़े से डिफिकल्ट हैं, बट क्वेश्चन बहुत ईजी है. योर y इज डिफाइंड एज इंटीग्रल 0 टू इन्फिनिटी, y is defined from closed interval close 0 open infinity to close 0 open infinity. So it is defined from r plus union 0 to r plus union 0. Be a continuously differentiable function. They have given this is continuous plus differentiable, so you can make use of the property differentiability. Your y at t is given by y at 0 plus integral 0 to t ys ds for t is equal to 0. If you are not comfortable with the variable t and s, you can change this into x and t variable if you are comfortable in that. See, if you go to solve by the Volterra integral equation, it will take time. But if you convert this equation into a differential equation, you will get the result instantaneously. So if you differentiate, because they have given the function is differentiable, so you can make use of that property. So y dash t will be, this is a constant, and it will give you y at t. So this is the first order differential equation. You know the auxiliary equation is m minus 1, so root is 1. So you can see your solution will look like c1 e power. This is your solution. So in a one line, you are getting the solution directly. So you can compare with the option, and they have given y at 0 पर value कितनी आ जाएगी 0. So y at 0, the c1 will be y at 0 e power 0, that is c1. So you can write your solution yt is equal to y at 0 e power t. This is your exact solution. So if you see in the option D is nothing but the formula of a plus b whole square. You have given this equation. If you square both sides, you will be getting option D. So option D तो उनको पूछने का कोई मतलब ही नहीं था, पता नहीं क्यों पूछा उन लोगों ने. This is simple a plus b whole square formula. Now if you come to the option B they have given y square t is equal to y square at 0 plus integral 0 to 2 times integral y square s ds. So if you see, your left hand side is your left hand side according to this solution is y square at 0 e power 2t, and if you see your right side will be y square at 0 plus 2 time integral, or you can say integral 0 to 2t 2 time y square as ds. So it will be y square at 0 e power 2s ds. If you solve this, you are going to get y square at 0 plus y square at 0. The integration will be e power 2s. If you put the limit from t to 0, so e power 2t minus 1, this will be the solution after putting the limits of integration. So you will be getting y square at 0 plus y square at 0 e power 2t minus y square at 0. So you will be having y square at 0 e power 2t. So your left hand side is same as right hand side. So you are having an exact solution. So you can check every option. So you can check option B and option D will be correct. This option is meaningless, or you can see the trivial. Now let us come to the option number question number 3. Let lambda 1 comma lambda 2 be the characteristic numbers, f1 f2 be the corresponding eigenfunction for the homogeneous integral equation. See, because of just notation, I am assuming, say lambda 1 is an eigenvalue, lambda 2 is an eigenvalue, and the corresponding eigenfunction is phi 1, and the corresponding eigenfunction is f phi 2. For the homogeneous integral equation, your phi x is lambda time integral 0 to 1 2xt plus 4x square phi t dt. Then option A, lambda 1 is not equal to lambda 2, that means there exist two eigenvalues. Option B, lambda 1 is equal to lambda 2, that means there exists only one eigenvalue. Option C, integral 0 to 1 f1x f2x dx is 0, that means this function phi 1 and phi 2 both are orthogonal with respect to the integral inner product. And option D, integral 0 to 1 f1x f2x dx is 1. So let us try to solve this problem. See, there are many methods to solve this problem, but I will give you the easiest one that I have also taught in the theory lecture. If you see your kernel kxt, this kernel is degenerate kernel. So you can write in this format 2x times t plus x square 4. This is a function of x only, f1, this is a function of t only, this is f2, this is g2. So this kernel is separable or degenerate kernel. So we are having the method of by the application of linear algebra or the system of equation. The system is given by AC barabar 0 in the case of homogeneous case. But if you are not having homogeneous equation, you cannot apply this method. You have to write the system AC is equal to B. So your equation is homogeneous, so our system will be AC barabar 0. Now let me write the system AC barabar 0. 1 minus lambda alpha 1 1 minus lambda alpha 1 2. This is going till 2, so I am writing for 2 only. Or let me write for the nth case, minus lambda alpha 1 n minus lambda alpha 2 1 1 minus lambda alpha 2 2 minus lambda alpha 2 n minus lambda alpha n1 minus lambda alpha n2 1 minus lambda alpha nn. So this is your A matrix, your C1, C2, Cn. This is 0 0 0. Now what is Ci's and what is alpha ij's? We know lambda from here. So your alpha ij is given by integral. See, the integral limits from this integral 0 to 1 git fjt dt. For remembering this formula, this first subscript of alpha will be changing through g and second subscript will be changing from f, where fi gi are from this, and your ci is given by integral 0 to 1 git yt dt. Now let me give you the explicit form for our requirement. So let us calculate alpha 11, alpha 12, alpha 21 and alpha 22. So if you calculate alpha 11, it will be integral 0 to 1, g1 is t, f1 is 2t dt. So it will be 2t square. If you integrate 2 into t power 3 by 3, so it will be 2 by 3. Alpha 12 is integral 0 to 1. Your g1 is t, your f2 is t square tt. It will be 1 by 4. Alpha 21 will be integral 0 to 1. Your g2 is 4, f1 is 2t dt. So it is 8 into t. So if you integrate this, you will be getting 4t square. 4t square. If you put limit, you will be getting 4. This is alpha 22, alpha 21. Alpha 22 is integral 0 to 1. Your g2 is 4, f2 is t square dt. So it is 4 by 3. So if you put in your matrix will look like 1 minus lambda. Alpha 11 is 1 by 4. So 1 minus lambda by 4 minus this is 1 minus k 2 by 3 lambda. Your alpha 12 is 1 by 4. So minus k lambda by 4, it is minus 4 lambda. It is 1 minus 4 lambda by 3. C1, C2 is 0, 0. But if you have put your C1 and C2 in the according to formula, then your phi x will look like lambda integral summation I is running from 1 to 2 fix ci. You can verify this because this is exactly same as this. Just I have replaced my integral 0 to 1 git ft phi t dt with the ci. So if you write in this format, I is running from 1 to 2 fix, your ci is integral 0 to 1 git phi t dt. So this equation and this equation both are same. So this is your solution. In this solution, you know lambda, you know fi, you just need to know ci. So let us compute your ci. See, in this case, if the determinant of this matrix is 0, or if the determinant of this matrix is non-zero, then obviously I will be having the unique solution, and solution will be C1 is 0, C2 is 0, because whenever your determinant is 0, then this system of linear equation will have a unique solution provided determinant is non-zero. So your C1 will be 0, C2 will be 0. So for a non-trivial solution, I just need the determinant of this matrix should be 0. So I will assume determinant of this matrix will be 0. So I will see what are the values of lambda for which I have the determinant is non-zero. Determinant is 0. So I will be having 1 minus 4 lambda by 3 minus 2 by 3 lambda plus k 8 by 9 lambda square minus lambda square is equal to 0. So I have taken the determinant of this matrix is 0, so I will find the values of lambda. Clearly you can observe, if you take the LCM, you will be having 9 minus, this is 12 lambda minus 6 lambda plus k 8 lambda square minus 9 lambda square is equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation. Lambda square, this is 6 and 12, it will be plus 18 lambda minus 9 equals 0. So you are having this equation, and you can easily observe your b square is not equal to 4ac. Your b square will be 18 square, 4ac will be 36. So you are having two distinct roots. If you are having two distinct roots, that means you are having two distinct values of lambda. That is, your lambda 1 is not equal to lambda 2. So option A will be correct. You do not need to find exact value of lambda. So option A will be correct. Now option B is false. Lambda 1 is not equal to lambda 1 is equal to lambda 2 false, because from here you will be getting two different values of lambda. Maybe complex, maybe real, that does not matter. Option C, F1 and F2 are orthogonal and F1 and F2 are not orthogonal. Option C and option D. See, for this you have to do little calculation. You will find the values of lambda from here. As you are getting the values of lambda from here, you will be finding your C1 and C2. So after finding C1 and C2, you will be putting, whenever you are putting lambda 1, you will be getting phi 1. If you are putting lambda 2, you will be getting phi 2. Then apply the integral 0 to 1, check F2 and check phi 2 and phi 1 dx is 0 or not. So you will be getting option C is again correct. They must be orthogonal, but you cannot say directly. If your kernel is symmetric, then you can say directly. But here your kernel is not symmetric. If you change your x and t, you will not get the same function, because you will be getting 4t square here. That is not present in kxt. So you can check your kxt is not same as ktx. So your kernel is not symmetric, so you cannot say your eigenfunction will be orthogonal or not. But if your kernel is symmetric, you can directly say your eigenfunction must be orthogonal. So I am just leaving it to you, little calculation. You just need to find lambda 1, lambda 2, then find C1 and C2 accordingly, then find phi 1 and phi 2. So little calculation you have to do, but if you do little calculation, you will get the option C will also correct. So I am just leaving your calculation it to you. So option A and option C will be correct. I hope आपको concept समझ में आए होंगे दोनों तीनों problems के. But still, if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. You can do WhatsApp me also. And if you have any suggestion for us, you are always welcome. Thanks for watching this solution series.